A Monster in Paris is such an unexpected gem. I added this movie to my queue in Netflix a while ago thinking it looked okay. A Monster in Paris is a really fun movie. It is a monster movie, hence the title, where a flea monster is hunted by the authorities, and the only thing standing between the authorities and the monster is an unexpected group of friends that it meets along the way. It's kind of like E.T. or Super 8, plot-wise anyway. The animation of this movie was beautiful. The music that accompanied it was great and was paired very well with the visuals. I have a few complaints that I do need to voice. I wasn't a big fan of how the movie didn't really seem to know who the main character was, whether it was Raoul, Francoeur, or Emile. That was the annoying part to me because A Monster in Paris never really established anyone as the person who we want to root for. I mean, Emile was the only one who had any real objective in this movie, and that was to ask out the girl that he had a crush on that he worked with. Raoul didn't have any objective, and this is only speculation, but I think Raoul was the one intended to be the main character. Francoeur didn't have any real objective either, but then again, I wasn't really expecting him to have much of an objective other than to survive. Now, Francoeur and Raoul had depth for sure, but as far as goals went, they didn't have any, and pretty much no other protagonist had any real goal to achieve. And the storytelling, while not bad, was not as good as it could have been. There was a scene at the end of the movie that really belonged more towards the beginning of the movie. The scene that I'm talking about was when Raoul and Lucille were in the park and it involved the little toy car. And if they had put this scene at the beginning of the movie, then I think that it would have established Raoul and Lucille as the main characters. One thing that I thought was too in our face for A Monster in Paris was the message of the movie when they said something along the lines of, "The flea had more humanity in him than you did." That was too obvious for my taste. I do not think messages should be spoon-fed, they need to be discovered. A Monster in Paris had its flaws, but I am more than willing to look past the flaws because I'll be honest, A Monster in Paris reminded me why I liked musicals so much as a kid, and it's been such a long time since I've seen an animated musical that I like. Personally, I enjoyed the musical numbers of A Monster in Paris because they gave Francoeur even more depth to him that I really wasn't expecting. I also think that the music in this helps A Monster in Paris to stand out from Disney musicals, similar in how Anastasia was able to do with its own music. The music in this is not really the type of music you listen to so you can feel better about the day. The music has a much darker feel to it, but not so dark to the point where you feel like you're listening to a Nine Inch Nails or a Marilyn Manson song, or even Alice in Chains for that matter. But it definitely had a darker feel to it with more minor notes than major notes. So if you're looking for a good kids movie to watch on a Saturday night, then I'd highly recommend giving this a shot, especially if you have kids. It's not overly complicated, it doesn't waste too much time with exposition, and it's a really fun movie to watch. A Monster in Paris gets 4 stars out of 5.